I have this funny conspiracy theory. It's not really a conspiracy. I call it Big Toilet. And I believe, like Big Pharma, but Big Toilet, I believe that the way our society is set up here in this US of A, the toilets we use are disabling to our internal systems of pooping.
Oh, yeah. You know what time it is. It's time to get a little Fronky up in here. This is Let Me Be Fronk.
It's time to get funky. We're all getting funky. It's time for Alyssa Fronk. Alyssa Fronk.
Let me be Fronk. Hello and welcome to Let Me Be Fronk. I'm your host, Alyssa Fronk, and this is a talk show that I started in the corner of my living room, if you can believe. This show features fellow creatives, friends of show, community leaders, and really cool people I know, love, respect, and admire, and I want you to know too. If you're new here, this is a reminder that episodes come out every other Wednesday on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope you like. My next guest on Let Me Be Fronk is a beautiful, shining example of a free spirit. She's a born and raised New Yorker from Queens who traded big city life for the trails. Millions of solo steps have led her to great journeys across the Appalachian Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, and Continental Divide Trail so far. That's right, y'all. We got a Thru-Hiker in the house. She recently worked the new circuit to recap her incredible yet terrifying encounter with a bear, which you better believe we will be discussing later on the show. In addition to trail life and being a gear tester, she owns her own consulting company and is a multimedia artist. She attributes her unique concoction of outlets to maintaining her mental health, and to that I say, more power, sister. In the off-season, she lives in her van to easily bounce around while pursuing her mission to see all 50 states with her two gorgeous green eyes. But best of all, she's kind, funny, scrappy, has made out with and is the type of human you just can't help but gravitate towards. I cannot believe you said that. It's the truth. Welcome to the show, the one and only Amanda Braids Wylie. Amanda.
I am fucking dying right now. Am I allowed to curse on the show?
Of course, yeah. Your family, welcome.
Oh my God. Okay.
Did anything I say was a lie?
No.
Exactly.
It wasn't.
I'm a truth teller. I'm a journalist here, and
Yeah.
I go by a code of ethics, okay?
I'm just wondering if what I told you was off the record or not.
Apparently not. Okay, Amanda, I've been dying to have you on the show. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, thank you for coming. I want to catch the audience up to speed a little bit on how we know each other. So as I was preparing for this interview and reflecting on our connection, our friendship, I couldn't help but think to myself, this is such a special, unique friendship because I met Amanda, I believe the year was 2019. I was pretty fresh to New York, and my coworker at the time, shout out Andrew Rivera, a mutual of ours,
Love you.
was throwing a birthday party as an Aquarius. Shout out, I'm also Aquarius. And I went to this birthday party of his, and that's where I met Amanda. And we hit it off. We were talking about Thank You Next, the album that just dropped by one Miss Ariana Grande. And I loved your vibe. Your outfit was really cool. And we really hit it off. I find it rare that you go to a party and you genuinely hit it off with someone, and then after the party you actually make the effort to be friends and make plans and see each other again. And that's what happened. Like, yeah, we did hit it off at this party, and I thought like, okay, like nice girl, whatever. But then she invited me to like an art show. I went, and then fast forward like 5 years later, and we have this friendship totally on our own. Like, it's even sometimes I forget that Andrew's our mutual because we just have our own standing thing. But yeah, that's how I met you. And
I love that. Yeah. I remember meeting you.
Amanda Wylie is my friend since I've been born, as far as I'm concerned.
I feel that way too, because honestly, first of all, you're saying 5 years, and I'm like, wow, that's true.
It feels longer.
It feels like forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we do have a lot of things in common. I'm really glad that we met that day, because I make it a priority to go to Andrew's birthday every year. Like, I just, I'm just like, this is the party that I always want to go to.
Cute.
And because of reasons like this, like I just meet these people who are so awesome.
I feel like people will know what I'm talking about. You'll meet people and be like, oh yeah, exchange numbers, we'll hang out. And then you never do.
Yeah.
Not us.
Not me. If you ever talk to me for more than 5 minutes, you'll probably, if the vibe is right, excuse me, I will reach out again. You know what I mean?
I thought you were gonna be like, you're invited to my wedding.
My
Like,
wedding. Yeah, like I'm getting
bye.
married anytime soon or at all.
No,
But,
no, please, we're busy. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
We have things to do.
I have a
Come
million boyfriends
on.
and girlfriends, and they
She's listen, we're getting to it, but she just can't be tied down.
No, I can't. I
No.
mean, like, it has to be so specific.
Okay.
No.
Moving on. How are you?
How am I?
And how is this visit in New York?
Oh my
you're
God.
currently on.
I love that you're calling this a visit because I feel that way too.
Well, it is. You don't really live here permanently anymore.
I don't live anywhere
This
permanently.
is home base. Sure.
This is home base, yeah.
But you're here. You're there. You're on a trail. You're in a state. You're.
Mhm. That's true.
I like actually need your location because I never know where you are.
Oh, I
half
would
the
love to
time.
share it with you.
Okay,
There's some
please.
people that I can share it with. And usually
I'm not a weird creepy person who's gonna be too much in your business. It's more of like I have motherly concern. I'm like, where is she?
it's actually funny you say that because with all due respect to my mom, I'm not sharing my location with you. For my family, I just don't want to share my location because I can just call you guys. I need you to just trust that, yeah, I'm doing my thing.
And that's your decision.
Yeah. And
And I
that
wanna-
my friends that I can call when I'm actually in an emergency
Okay.
have my location.
And I want Amanda's family to know. Look at me in the eyes. If something's going on, I will let you know, and
That's
I will
true.
reach out, and I will contact the appropriate people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're one of those people that I can trust to do that. I have a couple other really good friends that have my location that I can trust to navigate the emergency action plan appropriately.
Heaven forbid we have to go down that route.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You never know.
Anyways.
But it's good to have a plan.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So we have so much ground to cover. Did I get it?
That was actually
Let's take it back to your early days. I really want you to paint the picture for the audience. Who are you? Where did you
paint
what-
a picture, dive.
I'm-
These are things I've done.
No, exactly. I want you to tell the audience about your early days, like your upbringing. You're born in Queens, your family dynamic. Go. Give us the foundation of Amanda Wylie.
Foundation, mother, love you. Single mother, she raised me because my dad died. And that's something we relate on.
We were both in the Dead Dads Club.
DDC, DPC,
And
Dead Parents Club.
remind me, did he pass before you were born or after?
After I was 1.5.
Same.
I know. That's why we really connected at that party.
Yes.
I mean, it's not the only reason, but like we did wind up saying
yeah. So we
Yeah.
have no memory
no
of
memory.
them, but they have a memory of us.
Hopefully. I mean, not that they
Hopefully.
can talk about it.
No, they can't, but like at least they had the joy and privilege of being our parent for,
At least 1.5 years.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually really happy that we had those times.
How many siblings?
2. Brother and a sister.
And you are youngest?
I'm the youngest.
Baby.
I'm the baby. I have a brother and a sister. They're both older than me. I was such a camp kid. Like, we're
Mhm.
Jewish, you know? Well,
Mhm.
my dad was Catholic.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that was, I don't know if I told you that.
I did not know that.
But yeah, so that was like a whole thing in the 80s, you know, like it was a huge deal. This Jewish woman is marrying a Catholic guy, like whatever. Everyone get over it.
They had to.
They had to, and some of them didn't, and that's on them.
Thanks.
Anyway, I'm raised Jewish. When my dad passed, we decided, like, they talked, you know, do what you know kind of thing.
Mhm.
And he passed because he was a fireman, New York City, yada, yada. So, you know, they had those tough conversations that not everybody does have. So, yeah, we were raised Jewish. And along with being raised Jewish comes sleepaway camp. If you know, you know.
Tell us about sleepaway camp because this is something I learned later in life since I grew up in the South. So
I
tell
feel
us.
like this is definitely like a New England Jewish thing.
Yes,
to
and it's a
do.
huge ordeal. So please
Yeah.
give us the lowdown on sleepaway camp.
From my perspective as a child,
Mhm.
this is where this is all coming from. Like, going 8 weeks is fucking elite. Like, you're just like at camp for 8 weeks. How cool is that?
2 months.
2 months away from home with all your camp friends, your best friends, and you're doing all these activities. Ugh.
It sounds really fun,
It's
honestly.
so cool. Like, I was begging my mom to go to this camp because she was touring the camp for my brother,
Mhm.
who is a few years older than me. And then, you know, obviously all 3 of us are going to come because it's 2 hours away and single mom.
Mhm.
It seemed like a great camp, lots of activities. It was a Jewish camp, so, you know, they had some prayers involved and some type of religious structure, but
Okay.
nothing too pushy or anything.
Okay.
But, you know, we'd say a little prayer before we eat
Cute.
and do a little Friday service, Saturday service. And it was kosher. I really appreciated that, even as a child.
Did you grow up in a kosher household?
I did not. But it was nice to be at camp and know that the food was kosher because the kosher rules are more kind to the animals animals.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a long time where I wanted to be like a vegetarian when I was younger. And then I was like, well, if I keep kosher, there's like rules in place where you're not disrespecting the animal when you kill them to make it kosher.
I see.
So otherwise it's like not kosher.
How old were you when you went to your first sleepaway camp? When did this start?
2001.
Oh, yeah. True.
Because then I came home and 9/11 happened. Yikes. And then the next year, I went to a camp that was for grieving children.
Of fallen firefighters or fallen like first responders?
First responders, mostly firemen, and some people who lost a family member in the buildings.
Wow, that's so unique. It was a camp full of
grieving
kids
children. Yeah, so we had a lot of. I know it was sad, but also that's why DPC is a thing. Dead Parents Club. We would all be like DPC, DPC.
You all could bond over this horrific trauma you just experienced, and there was this reprieve of fun and fellowship.
Yeah.
I'm glad that existed for those kids.
I think I needed it. I probably honestly would have been like on drugs or something crazy if I didn't do that. Things would have been a lot different.
Outlets are good for kids.
Yeah, I needed all that stuff. I needed that constant. There was theater, horseback riding, and swimming, and
What's your favorite camp activity of all time?
oh my God, favorite of all time, because it's so rare, was mountain boarding.
What is that?
I know. Imagine a snowboard, skateboard mix
Okay.
with like huge dirt wheels.
Sounds so scary.
It was so cool. Oh my God.
Down a mountain?
Yeah, down along the camp.
Kids?
Did
people break their bones?
Yeah, some people did. Not me. I never broke a bone
God.
except for my hip.
That sounds so dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that was allowed.
And can you imagine this in the 2000s, the early 2000s? This was an electric mountain bike.
I'm gobsmacked right now.
Honestly, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, camp was so amazing because you don't get to do those things at home.
No.
You know? But they had
Heavens no.
everything. They had digital photography, and I was just going around taking all my pictures, going on little nature hikes. Anyway, I went for 4 weeks toward the end of camp, which was epic because I got to do color war, which if you're a camp person, you know that is the reason we live is for color war. The reason we live.
Such a camp kid.
If I have kids,
they will be going to camp.
They will go to camp, yeah.
When did your camp days stop?
From 8 until, 15?
Okay.
And then I became staff. I was a waitress there.
Fun.
That was like the transitional time. Like you kind of pay half the tuition and then you also get work experience.
Interesting.
And so you get to do activities and you're chaperoned
that's fun.
in a way. So it's like a safe place to be.
Okay, internship, if you will.
Camp is great for developing children.
Amazing.
At the grief camp,
Mhm.
I was a counselor and a program staff and all that kind of stuff.
Amazing. So then college days.
College days, vibes.
You
That's where I
go-
met Andrew.
And where did you meet?
In college at SUNY Purchase. Shout out to SUNY Purchase. We were both working on a late night show. Like
Shut
something like
up.
this,
Okay, full body chills.
Him and his other friend, they were having a radio show, which
No
they had me
way.
on.
Ah,
Okay, this is bringing back so many memories. Hold on.
fun.
That's how we met because I made a poster for their radio show.
If you have it, I will put it up in the YouTube version. Go on and skedaddle over to YouTube. You can see this amazing poster that Amanda made during her college career.
And then they had me on the show. And I have to bring this up because we're on the show right now.
Okay.
And it was the Father's Day episode. But they didn't know
Wow.
because we had just met. Like,
Okay.
I mean, like, at this point, we're kind of friendly, but, like, I wasn't
Mhm.
like, yeah, my dad's dead,
So they're like, tell us all about your dad.
I'm like, why am I free today?
so
I
relatable.
I was free on Father's
every day.
Day.
I'm like, oh yeah, Father's Day. Yikes. What
Yeah.
do I do?
They're like, so are you free on this day? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. It didn't even occur to me that it was Father's Day because I have no reason to celebrate. They asked me, like, some Father's Day stuff. And I was just like, oh, I forgot. Like, I didn't even think about this. And, like, I just wasn't mentally prepared. I didn't speak up, I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, Father's Day is cool, Like, I didn't
You're
really, like,
such a professional.
I was just like, but then later in my
Mhm.
life, I was invited to their morning show, which I fucking loved. If anybody's watching this and thinks that I would be a great host for a radio show, I agree. Reach out to me, AmandaWylie93@gmail.com. But anyway, it was Mother's Day, happened to be on one of the
Wow.
days. And I was like, you know what? I can't let it go again. A lot of people don't have a parent, or both parents, or like.
It's more common than you would think.
Yeah, it
sadly.
is. And so I'm like, you know what? I really love that we're giving shout outs to all the moms, but also I want to shout out everyone who doesn't have their mom right now.
Yeah.
And it turns out the other person who was on the morning show with me, she lost her mom.
Wow. You wanted to hold space for the people
Yeah.
who don't really know how to
Yeah.
carry themselves and conduct themselves on the day because it does
Yeah.
feel awkward. It's like, do I celebrate? Do I not?
Right,
do I
right.
acknowledge this? Do I not? It's definitely a weird day
Yeah.
for.
And then we got like so
yeah.
many callers, saying
Oh.
about their their moms who they're missing and stuff like that. And I was
Oh,
like,
that's actually really sweet.
that's where I needed to be.
Yeah, no, for
Don't-
sure.
Don't honor
1000%.
me. Like Oprah, I used to watch Oprah all the time.
Same. Who didn't?
Honestly, if you didn't watch Oprah,
You can reach out to Amanda.
yeah, you can reach out to me.
So you graduated in what year?
2015.
Okay, amazing. And then what?
Then I went on a road trip with 2 people from college I didn't really know well.
Wow.
I've always wanted to, do national parks and stuff.
Mhm.
But my outdoors experience was limited to camp,
Got it.
which isn't limiting, but it's not backcountry. It's not national park. It's
No.
like cabins with pesticides and you don't get bites.
Yeah.
And there's people that care about you.
There's a big discrepancy between the two.
So anyway, I was like, I'm interested in the national parks. And this girl was telling me that she had these plans for a road trip and she
Mhm.
was going with 2 of her friends. I was like, please let me know if somebody bails.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody did bail.
Wow. Meant to be.
And then I was in.
And how did it go?
It was kind of crazy.
Oh, was it not the T of your L?
It was a time and a half. Was it the time of my life? I don't know.
Okay.
Was it extremely inspiring? Yes.
Love
Was
it.
I in a ball of trauma that I was not yet aware of and butting heads with the 2 people that I was meeting? Yes. Overall, great experience. I still talk to both of them. North Cascades National Park and Glacier National Park. We did a lot of the Pacific Northwest, and it was just so inspiring.
Was that the trip that put the idea of hiking or the possibility in your brain?
Actually, no, it wasn't, because at that point in time, these hikes during that month of June in 2015 were like the only hikes I'd ever actually been on,
That was the first time you hiked.
knowing that I was going on a hike.
Around this time, you start to pivot in life. You're trying to figure out what you want to do, who you want to be.
Okay, yeah.
Tell us about that journey.
So yeah, this is the first time I hiked with other people, and I
Mhm.
hated it because I have asthma. We were in the
Oh
desert,
no.
Utah, like hot,
In the summer,
in the summer, in June, and I was like,
as someone
like,
as someone who just survived a July Phoenix trip,
Mhm.
I can only imagine.
brutal. The other 2 people I was with were hiking like normal people would hike that have hiked maybe in the past. And I was struggling to breathe. I was getting scared because they were a
Aw.
little too far ahead and I was so out of breath that I couldn't be like,
Oh my
like,
god,
I
that
couldn't,
is scary.
they weren't in my earshot
Ugh.
anymore. And I was just like, I think I'm gonna die. When you're in a dream and you're like calling out
Yeah.
and you can't
Mhm.
actually get words out.
Yeah.
Like that's how it felt, but it was real
Oy.
life. We weren't just in those super hot parts. Like we went to like the whole rainforest and other areas too. But anyway, those places were so inspiring to me. Like ever since that trip, I was just like, how can I get back out in the mountains? I need to go to the mountains.
You love the great outdoors.
I love the great
That's where you want to be,
outdoors.
wide open spaces. So you get back from this trip. What next? Job, work?
I was a preschool
Well,
director.
When I
was-
met you, you had just
yeah.
been fired from your job,
was
and
so
you told me
brutal.
all about it.
Yeah. And it was disrespectful and detrimental to my mental health.
Literally say that.
And then that's when I was like, okay, my mental health has to come first.
So mid-20s is when you really started to figure this out. Whatever I do, I need to prioritize my mental
Yes.
health.
Absolutely. I have like a team now, like a mental health team.
That's a flex. When did bodybuilding come into the picture?
after I had enough. After I had enough.
Enough of.
Of my own bullshit.
Okay,
Are
got
you
it.
kidding me?
Understood.
So like I finally was coming to terms with the fact that I was fired. I'm an active person, but because I had this job where I was like at a desk, I gained so much weight. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't going to the gym. I had no structure.
Got it.
I was at dinner with my family and I was just overweight and upset about it. And we were having a conversation that I didn't enjoy. And it just like clicked for me that I don't have to do anything I don't want to do.
You got up from the table, you left immediately.
No, I wish. No, that was a great dinner. I mean, the food was great. Anyway, I looked at my brother and I was like, light bulb, I need a fucking trainer. And my brother was like, I know a trainer. I'm like, great, put me in touch. So he did. Then I worked with this trainer for like 4 months,
Amazing.
give or take. I don't know, maybe 2 to 4 months.
Okay.
I was having, I guess, the body dysmorphia. Like I was looking at myself and I was still seeing the other me, but I was, because I was such a bad mental place, But working out and going to the gym and having a really positive trainer
Mm-hmm.
who was all about mental health too and understood that I was coming from losing my job and feeling like shit and unhappy with the way I look. He really helped me like in so many ways.
It sounds like it was transformational.
It was. That's a
amazing.
perfect word for it. Yeah. Then I was like, I'm going to go on my own journey now. And that I took way too far.
Are you talking about the bodybuilding of it all?
Yeah. I wound up being a bodybuilder.
And you competed in a show.
Competition. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
That was a
one-
big deal.
That was a huge deal. I felt really proud though. I didn't
I
take it
think you
too
should
far.
be. I think you should be proud of it. You tried something way outside of your comfort zone and you did a really good job.
Thank you. So at this point, I was like working out for like 2 years, I guess, or 3. And then so COVID happens and I'm still working out outside because at this point I'm addicted to working out.
There's worse things you can be addicted to.
Agreed.
How did you transition from being addicted to working out, bodybuilding, to the trails?
It took 4 months to prep the competition. And so I was like, I want to do something that'll be a little better for my mental health. Like at this point, I was like, I feel like I'm in a box because I'm in the gym physically. I'm like, I need to go outside. And I'm not going to bring all these weights outside. So what can I do outside? And what's going to be good for my mental health? Because at this point, thanks to you, actually, I made hard pivots toward getting the right mental health team.
Oh,
So shout out to you.
amazing.
Thank
Oh my
you seriously for
God.
being there for me when I was like really in a bad place.
Of
Because
course. I'm glad I could help even in a very small way.
that was a huge trajectory
Aw.
shift for me. And I was like, what can I do that is 4 to 6 months?
Okay.
Because while I was in this rut, I was like, every day I want to do something for myself. And then it was like, okay, now what can I do that's more than one day? What can I do that's more than 1 hour? And then I was like, okay, let me do something for myself that's a couple hours. I was like, okay, let me do something for myself
Interesting.
that's a day. Now 2 days, now a week, you know? And then I kept
Interesting.
progressing until it wound up being 4 months of prep for bodybuilding. And then I was like, okay, what's the next thing I want to do for me? And it became hiking the Appalachian Trail
Wow.
because that allegedly is like a 5 to 7 month journey. And I met 2 people who had completed the Appalachian Trail.
No way.
And I never even heard of it before. And I was like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, you did what? And that's often what people ask me, like, especially city folks, like, like, what are you talking about? And that was my
Yeah.
reaction to them. So once I learned more about it, I was like asking them a bunch of questions and it was just sitting in the back of my mind.
So you just happened to meet these 2 people. Then you were like,
Yeah.
wait, tell me everything. I'm so
Yeah.
curious about this.
Yeah.
And then and then the gears started to turn and you're like, wait, this is something I could potentially do.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. That's why I try to tell people, like, do whatever you want because you never know
Yeah.
who you're going to inspire.
Oh, same. I'm a huge champion of experimenting, trying new things, picking up random hobbies, niche interests. That's the zest of life.
I
It's like
agree.
variety. And life is what you make it, so let's make it right, as the great philosopher Hannah Montana once said. Okay, so
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Miley.
you. And she just won that award. I'm so proud of her.
What
Anyways,
award?
Disney just honored her with like a huge lifetime achievement. And I'm like,
Wow.
good, because she literally built this company from the ground up.
Yeah.
I don't know Walt, but I
do
know
love-
Miley.
I do love Miley.
Yeah.
I really do. And
Yeah,
and
I really do
I love
too.
the sound that she's coming into now as well. Like her is amazing to me.
Yeah, she's great.
Anyway,
But yeah, just go for it. There are
Yeah.
so many things you can do. And it's not even about money. There are so many things you can do for free. If you just
Yeah.
make the time and you have the mindset, go for it. There's so many great free resources to get involved in hobbies and
Yeah.
and interest in clubs and communities and etc. I can
Yeah.
go on and on about this, but
Yeah.
I'm really I've got to tip my hat to you, Amanda. Like
Thank
I
you.
love how open-minded you are and how adventurous you are.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so tell us about this journey of preparing for. So you just said, okay, I'm gonna do the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
That's huge.
Yeah. It was just in the back of my mind. And then I said to myself, let me do something for myself for a month, right?
Mhm.
And I decided to travel the States for a month, which
Okay.
was crazy. But before I went, I was at REI to get some pants to go skiing, which was my first stop. So I was at the Soho REI.
I know it well.
Got ski pants, saw a book that was a workbook, and it
Okay.
said Appalachian Trail. And I said, I should get this.
Divine intervention.
I know. But I couldn't step foot in the camping section. I was so intimidated. But I saw the book and I picked it up. It was a workbook. And I was like, it was basically like assessing yourself. Like,
Wow.
can you go into the wilderness and like be okay? You know? And
That's amazing. You just found this book, and
Yeah.
it was actually like, okay, let's talk about it.
yeah. It was an assessment. And I loved it.
I love that this resource exists.
Me too. Me too.
Because that is a big
Huge
undertaking.
deal. Huge deal. If I just went out,
I'm not gonna lie. When you first told me, I was like, "What the fuck is she like? She gonna,
Everybody thought
she gonna be
that.
living out of a backpack." Because
Yeah.
this is where we differ. There is really no fiber in my being that wants to do that.
yeah.
I'm, como se dice, a baby. I don't like to sweat. I don't like to be dirty.
Yeah.
Bugs, ill,
Yeah.
strangers that might hurt me, ill.
Definitely came across that.
We'll get there. You start to work through this workbook,
Yeah.
and what?
I build my confidence a little bit. I understand what it would take to begin my trail journey. While I was traveling and visiting my friends in other states that I knew from college or whatever, I was filling it out all the live long day.
I love this. You didn't even go 0 to 100. You really
Yeah.
just like kind of went through this resource and
Yeah.
just started to mentally prime yourself. And then I assume, did you finish this workbook?
Of course, yeah.
And then you were like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and then I was like, I'm going to do the workbook again.
Have to be sure.
Yeah, because it was like, okay, you know when you take like a math test and it
Yeah.
was just like a practice test and you're like,
Yeah.
bombed that.
No, I understand what you literally mentally primed yourself. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, wait, now I feel serious about this.
Yeah.
Let me go again.
Yeah, so then I was like, okay, now given what I've learned from all my wrong answers, what would the right answer be? And like I just tried to do all the tests again. And then once I started getting things right and it was clicking in my head, you know, that's what you would do in this situation or that situation. This is what you would
Can
need.
you give us an example of a question or something that was posed in this workbook?
How far away from a water source do you need to be when you poop? You know?
I don't know. Tell us.
Like 200.
200 feet?
Yeah.
Why is that?
If you poop too close to a water source, first of all, you got to dig a hole and poop in it. And then you wipe yourself. And depending on where you are, you can either you pack out your poop and your toilet paper, or you just pack out your toilet paper, or you don't pack out anything and you bury it properly and you stick a stick in it and let people know that's where you pooped.
Swear to God, I'm getting a panic attack almost just thinking about this, like pooping in a hole. Like I'm not cut out for this life.
Yeah, but I will
That is
tell you.
So if you see a little stick sticking out of
if
the
you
ground,
see a
like
stick,
code red, don't go near it.
it's funny because you're like, okay, I have to poo, and then you find a spot in the woods, and a lot of times, like humans, I believe there's like an energetic and gravitational pull for humans to be where other humans were. And with that comes never finding a poop spot the first place you look.
That's
Like there's already a stick.
funny. Wow.
But I also I have this funny conspiracy theory. It's not really a conspiracy. I call it Big Toilet. And I believe, like Big Pharma, but Big Toilet, I believe that the way our society is set up here in this US of A, the toilets we use are disabling to our internal systems of pooping.
I've actually heard this take before. I think I've heard this like on TikTok before, like the way
Really?
that we sit on toilets aren't natural and healthy.
I agree.
And it actually complicates the
Yes.
tract.
Yes.
Yeah, so interesting.
Yeah, like the bowel movement is not moving if we're like this when we need to be, if I may,
Please.
like this.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like you need to really
Yeah.
get in the
That's
right
like
position.
why like potty squatties are a thing. And
squatty potties. But
squatty-
that's capitalism. That's capitalism.
Yeah, no,
You
it's
know?
crazy.
That's Big Toilet to me.
the system needs to be reconfigured.
100%. And then I need to buy a squatty potty just
I
to get
don't
the
think-
natural position that I would have had if I just pooped in a hole in the woods.
I mean, I don't think the remedy is pooping in a hole in the woods.
Maybe not for some. For me, it was.
Fair. Teach their own.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you start preparing and you decide, I'm going to do the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah. I was going to start in March and be a northbounder, which is also known as a NOBO, northbound, you know?
Okay.
Which is like a classic way to do it. A lot like most people, if you're going to try and go with the upstream salmon of people that are hiking through
Okay.
hiking or attempting anyway, you would go northbound in March
Starting whereabouts?
in Georgia,
And ending?
in Maine, 2,200 miles.
That is not a walk in the park.
It's a walk in many, many parks.
Many parks.
Many parks. But I actually got into a car accident and it kind of effed my back.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, I'm not going to start the trail now. But I was 100% determined to start the trail that year. No matter what, I need to do this year. Like this is what's calling to me. This is what I've prepared for. I like sold my house, apartment, whatever that my sister and I had together. And now I have the money to do this. Now I have the mindset to travel. And this is what's next for me.
Okay, so how did you reconfigure?
I decided to take a cab from New York
Mm-hmm.
to the nearest point of the Appalachian Trail to me, maybe like an hour and a half or 2 hours away. I lied to this cab driver because they were like, what the fuck are you doing? And they were
You had
like,
the backpack with you?
I had like a backpack and I was like, yeah, I'm just meeting some friends. Tee. I called the Appalachian Trail Conservancy because I was like, am I in the right place? Because to my understanding, the blazes on the trees, the directions along the trail are white paint lines, but this paint line is blue. So am I in the right place?
What are the types of things you brought with you?
Way too much stuff. I'm telling you, my bag was like 50 pounds. Think Cheryl Strayed for real. I was like, this is so embarrassing. I'm so glad I'm starting in the middle of New York where there's not a big group of people that are going to be like, haha, make fun of me for not knowing what I'm
Oh
doing.
no, not bullying on the trails.
Oh my God. Anywhere there's people, there's bullying, unfortunately.
So you brought way too much stuff.
Way too much
Like,
stuff.
what are things that you brought that you did not need?
I had everything I didn't need. I'll just put it that way.
Like, did you pack too many clothes? Too many
many clothes.
snacks?
Too many clothes.
Like a blow
so
dryer?
much
I mean,
food.
like, was
No,
it
I had
stupid
way
stuff?
too much food. I had like 10
Okay.
days of food, which
That's
if you ever
hilarious.
backpack is like,
Okay, you wanted to make sure you
Yeah.
had enough to eat.
but if
Fair.
you know anything about the Appalachian Trail, which at this point I didn't really socially,
Yeah.
there's so many stops along like the New York, New Jersey area. And people deli blaze, meaning where the white blazes are. They're just making it. They're just hiking to the next deli.
That's
Instead.
hilarious. I love that culture.
I love it too. I thought that was hilarious. Except at this point in time, I was so sick of the city and just
You wanted to get the F out.
I was like, no. I brought 10 days of food to see if I can last 10 days out here.
Like, I don't want your fucking deli. I want beans in a can.
Oh my God.
Ew. Sorry,
No.
no offense.
No, it's okay. Beans in a can is old school. Like maybe you'd see that in a movie, but like
She said, you don't know shit, so
No,
shut
no,
up.
no,
No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
you don't know until you know. Like you don't know
Of
unless you
course.
try it. So, but yeah, there's like so many more modern ways of eating on trail. Dehydrated food, dehydrated meals, tuna packets that aren't in a can.
My sister loves those.
I
And
like
she's on a
those too.
hiker. Shout out.
A lot of the hiker food, you know, like I'll eat it when I'm not hiking. The one thing that kept me happy, especially on the AT, was there was a lot of access to grocery stores and stuff like that. So it wasn't really that scarce. It was a great beginner trail for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, extremely difficult. So I was really glad I was coming right off of bodybuilding because I had the
Okay.
stamina and I was able to.
And do you think it was so challenging because you overpacked, or no, it's just a challenging?
I had only been on those few hikes.
That was your first go
Yeah,
at it.
Yeah. I didn't bring a sleeping bag. 50 pounds of gear and I didn't have a sleeping bag.
Where'd you sleep, girl?
I slept in a hammock.
That's kind of cute.
It was cool. It was cool, honestly.
Quirky.
But I was like, I'll just use this hammock for like a month. The hammock was so annoying. It was so much work every day. Every day got more and more serious. So the first day I slept out, had my hammock, got off the trail, got a cab to REI, got a sleeping bag because people were like, oh yeah, like in the summer it gets so hot, like you're just gonna need your like liner, like your
Mhm.
sleeping bag liner or like your sheet. I go to REI, I get what I need. I stayed in a hotel and I dropped like half of the stuff that I was like, it poured and poured that first night.
Oof.
And I was like, okay, I didn't touch half of this shit. So that means I don't need any of these things.
Mm,
And then every time I would get into town,
mhm.
I would say, okay, what did I not touch in the last 3 days? If I didn't touch it in
Mm.
3 days, I don't need it. So I just kept doing a gear review
Mhm.
on myself every time I had to stop. I mean, that's pretty often along the AT. So every couple days, I was like, all right, send this home, send that home. Toward the end of the trail, I was definitely dialed in, as they say. Like I knew what I was doing. I had appropriate weight in my pack, and I would say about halfway through, I got to that point. But anyway, I went from New York, hiked all the way to Maine, Katahdin, got a
Wow.
ride back down to where I started, and then I made it to Georgia, not without breaking my hip.
Wait, so you went from New York to Maine,
And then I
and
got a
then
ride.
back down to New York, and then you hiked to Georgia?
Yeah. So I hiked the whole trail, the entire trail.
How long did that take you?
It took me 6 months and 20 days, including all the days off that I took,
That's
which was plenty. I was happy to take a 0 day, meaning a no hiking day.
I mean, yeah, as you should.
Yeah, like I would take.
What did you do
double-
on your 0 days?
So I would go to town, take a shower, do my laundry, rebraid my hair, which was like exhausting. I have my little checklist of things that I had to do when I got to town.
Got it.
And
Kind of
then
like a reset, refresh.
Refresh, reset, immediately get food. ABC, always be charging. Anytime there's an outlet, that's from another hiker, Jules. Thanks, Jules, for that one. I use that all the time. ABC, always be charging.
Was your phone on at all times, or were there days where it'd be dead?
I was in and out of town often enough that I always had it. And I had my power bank too.
So you were never like totally off the grid, unreachable?
No, not on
Okay,
the AT.
good.
There was service the whole time,
Wow.
almost the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, this is a perfect beginner trail
Amazing.
in terms of the logistics. you
Your
know?
3000 vibes? Okay. trail nicknames because this is something I recently learned about as a thing.
Yeah.
So
trail
can you
names.
explain that to the audience?
Yeah, so Thru-Hikers consider it trail names, and mine is two braids. Two braids when I'm on the trail. I always wear two braids.
Got it.
And I was like braiding other people's hair.
And your braids look really good.
Thank you.
I wish I could braid like that, honestly.
I have to shout out my friend Deva because she taught me how to braid.
Gorgeous.
So before I left for the trail, she gave me one of her mannequins. She's a hairdresser and taught me how to braid.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I was like, thank you.
So two braids. Did other people dub you that nickname or did you dub yourself?
Yes. Yeah, I was dubbed. I was deemed.
So why do people do trail names?
There's a lot of people that you're going to meet on trail, and sometimes you don't need them to know who you are,
Love it.
to be honest. There's that. Also, it's fun.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a little bit of like overkill.
Okay.
Like I was
fair.
like, all right, like get a nickname when you get a nickname.
You're like on the first day and they're like, what's your trail name? You're
yeah,
like,
and I'm just like,
I just
"Oh."
started.
I'm like, I don't know.
Newbie.
Yeah, basically. I was, people were not very nice.
Oh no.
There were some people who sucked, and then there was a lot
I'm
of people who were
sure.
great.
What is the best trail name you've ever heard?
Okay, we have Wrecking Ball. We have Cult Bait.
Whoa.
We have Cult Whore, aka CW Cruise. Chef Lilo, I liked. Lilo, last in, last out. Loved that.
Cute.
There were so many more.
So it's something kind of specific to yourself or something you do on the trail. It's like a
Yeah.
fun thing. Like,
Yeah,
love it.
totally.
Very campy.
Yeah, it's campy. It's cute. And it's fun. And it's a lot of times it's like, oh, my name's Cult Bait. Why is your name Cult Bait? Because I wanted to go to the Yellow Deli, which is a known cult along the trail. So it's like an invitation to explain a little bit more about your lore. Your lore. This is your dream come true right now.
Single mom who works 2 jobs for love. Yeah, I love this girl. Everyone say hi to Mooney. Thank you for gracing us, Mooney. Oh, that was so sweet. I love you.
That was really nice.
So 6.5 months on this trail, you concluded in Georgia. Were you able to finish or no because you were injured?
I did finish.
Okay.
I broke my hip. I literally broke my hip.
That'll
I
do
didn't
it.
know that it was broken.
Fuck, Amanda.
It
so
hurt
you were
so bad.
you were hiking on a broken hip.
Yeah.
Do you know how you broke your hip?
It was technically called a stress fracture. I kind of stepped wrong on a rainy day
And you felt it
and
immediately?
I felt it.
Yikes. Okay,
Yeah.
so you concluded your great first hike
Yeah.
with a broken hip.
Yeah.
And how long did that take you to recover?
6 months.
Jeez.
Really, 6 months. I had to be non-weight bearing.
Oh,
And the reason I finished the trail because I had like 48 miles left. Brutal, fucking brutal. Thank you to everybody who helped me finish, seriously.
Wow.
That includes CW and a family called the Skogman family.
Oh.
And all the people in Georgia who were nice to me until I told them that I am not a churchgoer. And then
That's
they
the South.
Whoops.
Well, I'm proud of you for finishing, and I'm sorry you broke your hip.
Me too. It's
Okay,
devastating.
So your next trail adventure, when did that happen?
6 months later, as soon as I recovered, I got on the Pacific Crest Trail.
Amazing.
Huddled up with a bunch of Thru-Hikers on the AT. I was like, fuck, I really want to do this for like ever. I was like, I don't want to stop doing this. Like if
It
I
just
could
felt,
just keep
it
going.
felt right.
It felt great. Felt amazing. I felt like I wasn't in a box anymore. Every day I was seeing new
You weren't.
things. I wasn't. I was literally out and about.
Literally.
And I was
That's
seeing new
amazing.
things every day, learning about like what grows where, what kind of flowers,
Mhm.
seasonal things. So that was in November that I was like, all right, I want to do this. And I applied for a permit for the Pacific Crest Trail. My dream is really to build out a van and go cross country with it. That's what I've always wanted to do. Wild Thornberries, like loved that show. Always was like about that life kind of thing. And it's like this running joke in my family, like when's Amanda getting a convoy? Like from the Wild Thornberries. And then I was like, now's the time.
That's funny. And you did it, girl.
So I did it.
You made
even
that dream
while I
come
was
true.
injured. Can you imagine?
I mean, yeah. Wow.
I took the van, drove it across country, stopped at all my friends' houses, mostly hikers that I met on the AT.
Love it. Do you feel like you really connect with the hiking community? Do you feel like those are your people?
Yeah, I think so.
Beautiful.
There's like people from all different walks of life, but it was really important for me to meet all these people.
Definitely.
Yeah. And especially along with my mental health journey, I was taking dialectical behavioral therapy because I have borderline personality disorder. So I was like, it was like a skills-based therapy where I'm learning about interpersonal skills and mindfulness and stuff like that. Like how
Wow.
to interact with people without taking things personally, because that's like a huge
Fascinating.
thing that happens with people with borderline.
That's amazing. So you were actively doing therapy and getting to practice this while on the trail.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
That was my motive because I was like, if I'm going to go on trail, I got to keep the mental health first
Mhm.
and practice.
I think there's some people that might listen to this conversation and be like, wow, this girl's wild. She's a free spirit. She's all over the place. But you're actually incredibly smart and
Thank you.
determined. And you've really just, you like silence out everyone else. And you're like, what works for me? What
Yeah.
do I need? How can I best support myself? And all these ventures you do beautifully come together to help you get to the next chapter and the next
Yeah.
phase of life. I just want to
Thank
point that out. And I
you.
hope you feel proud and accomplished for that, because like, even to think like, wow, I can do this thing where it will enrich me in all the ways I want to be enriched. I'll be outside. I'll
Yeah.
be challenging my body. I'll be meeting people, but I'm also working on myself and doing therapy. That was a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I agree. I thank you so much. Like,
You're welcome.
honestly, I really put so much thought into it, and
It wasn't like a careless, like, I'm just going to do this. No, this
it
is.
was definitely thought
And it
out.
shows.
Because I was like, what would I need to be able to complete something like this? Like,
Yeah.
what support would I need? Because like you're like, really? Are you sure? You know, my friends and family were like, I don't
I had to ask
know.
questions because I care.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
feel the same way about my family.
Yeah.
They asked because they cared. They doubted me because they cared. And I appreciate that.
No, you're 10 steps ahead, maybe even. Pacific Crest Trail, how long was that journey for?
That took me about 5 months. Well, I will say the miles came easier. The views were grander.
Mm.
The trail was physically more easy. The logistics were more difficult.
Huh.
It was a graded trail, a percentage of slope, whereas the Appalachian Trail was like,
Got it.
so that was way more difficult physically for me to go up
Interesting.
and up and down elevation. The elevation on the PCT was higher
Mm-hmm.
at most points. Like, you're basically at like living at 6,000 feet and then going up. But on the AT, the highest point was maybe 6,000 feet. Yeah, I did the whole thing except for some part where there was a fire.
Yikes.
So I do need to go back and like do those couple hundred.
For sure.
But
One day.
one day, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. I could still call it a through
It's not
hike.
going anywhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
You never know. I mean, the
Um,
fires, the landslides, the snow.
Damn. Amanda, we have to talk about the bear.
What are you talking about?
No, stop it. Stop it. Okay. Tell us the whole story. Don't leave out a detail.
Okay, I'm gonna try my best.
Amanda recently had a real life close encounter with a bear on a trail, and she lived to tell the tale.
I did, and I did.
Please
live
tell
to
us the tale.
I live to tell the tale. I live to tell the tale. I
Yay,
live to
yay,
tell
my
the
friend to
tale.
get mauled by a bear.
I
Okay.
didn't die. I didn't die. Oh my god, I didn't die.
Thank
I-
God.
I like-
I'd be so sad.
In the moment. Oh no, seriously, same. But I would definitely come back from the dead and be like, tee, you know, do all the little things like, and you would know it was me.
Yeah.
That's the type of person I am. So if I do die, which eventually
Don't.
will happen in our lifetime, I'll bring you some notes from the
Please,
from the
please
other
haunt
side.
us like with fun pranks.
Yeah, I'll
Anyways.
do fun pranks because I like fun pranks in life.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't die.
This was July. It happened.
July 4th
Ever heard of it? Take us back to the day.
on the Continental Divide Trail. So I was thinking, okay, let's do a three-peat. Let's go for the third long trail in America. Like do a triple crown. That was unsuccessful. That's totally fine. I was in Glacier National Park.
Inside Bar, I am weaving in pictures
Please.
and videos of all of Amanda's trail experiences,
Yes.
friends. So please head over to the Let Me Be Frunk YouTube to see those little gems. Thank you.
It's July 4th. My birthday's the next day. And I'm thinking about my family. My dad died when he was 30.
Wow.
So I'm about to be 31. Oh my God, I'm going to outlive my dad tomorrow. Like, this is crazy, you know? Just thinking about that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm really into animal tracks now because I stopped focusing on mushrooms because they're really exciting. But I'm telling you, I have thousands of photos of mushrooms in my phone. And I'm like, when is enough enough? You know, like, you've seen this kind before. It's okay to move on and not take a picture of it.
That's
So anyway, I
so
started
funny.
focusing my energy on animal tracks
Okay.
because that was exciting to me when I was in Oregon and I was like the only person on trail because I was making up part of the fire section and it was snowy and I saw cat animal tracks and I saw
Wow.
like elk tracks and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, it's so exciting. I'm going to focus on tracks now. Anyway, so that's what I did. So I'm on the CDT, I'm in Glacier, and I'm seeing for the first time that I am confident about my tracks, I'm seeing grizzly bear tracks.
Woof.
Every day, to be honest. Every day I saw some tracks.
And are you getting excited or spooked?
Very excited. I'm like, this is the coolest thing. I am so happy I saw tracks. Like, that is so freaking cool.
Yeah.
And it's pretty rare to see tracks that you might see like a one-off, like a paw. I wound up seeing tracks that included the hind leg of the bear, of the grizzly, and I was so thrilled. I was getting out my measuring app on my phone and like saying like, okay, how far away is the step? Because that's like one way to figure out what kind of animal it is. So that was so exciting to me. And I saw the history of the bear walking there, and I was like, that's so cool. Took pictures, whatever. And then I just put it in the back of my head. And then the next day, I also saw scat, which is bear poop. And I was seeing poop all along, you know, it's natural, like whatever. All the animals are going to poop wherever they poop. This time it was bear tracks and poop. And then I saw dug up roots. I've never seen that. The fact that there's dug up roots, scat, and tracks, I really think there's probably something here. So I'm looking around and, you know, I'm getting distracted by the view because it's so gorgeous. I take a picture of the view behind me and I'm just like, damn, it's so nice here. But I do need to be aware.
Yeah.
So I'm looking around for a bear. I don't see one. I see a prairie dog jump from one side of the trail to the other side of the trail. And I'm like, I've also never seen that. That's a red flag. Why would a prairie dog be jumping, leaping for their life? I usually just see them like, boop.
And you're totally by yourself.
I'm by myself, yeah.
Okay, wow.
I look exactly where the prairie dog jumped from, and that's when I came face to face with a grizzly bear. I kid you not, this bear was right here.
No,
Arms
it was that
distance.
close to
I
you?
could have touched it.
Amanda.
I could have touched it.
How did it sneak up on you like that, though?
I think it was eating some berries.
Oh my God.
I thought at the time it was 10 feet tall, which I later learned like bears are usually like 8 feet.
Was its back to you, or did it see you?
No, this is face to face. I'm not even
I'm gonna
kidding.
pass out on my own show.
Oh.
And
Assistance, we need fans. We need...
What did you do?
I was so terrified. I just was so scared, and I immediately thought to run, but I watched a video prior to getting my permit for this hike because I was in backcountry. First of all, the video had people in a group, so I was already one step behind that.
Okay. Damn.
But their first thing to do was like
Put your arms up?
get big, because then they will be like, oh, I'm not the biggest thing here. Put your jacket above your head, and
Not you putting up your dukes to a bear.
we're way beyond that. Like, we're way too close.
Yeah.
If the bear was maybe like 100 yards away or something, then I
Yeah.
would have done that. But this was absolutely life or death. And I was like, no, I'm not getting big. I'm not getting big. I'm getting small, because the next thing to do is get low, you know? Getting big, they'll just kind of back away because they think you're bigger than them. But yelling at them is going to be like you're attacking them.
Oy.
And so they're going to respond to that.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, I cannot intimidate the bear.
Mhm.
It's not going to happen.
Mhm.
So I have to just survive right now. So I just backed away slowly like this. And that was something I saw them do in the video as well, like this.
Okay.
So I put my hands like that and I backed away. And I was just like, no, we're okay. Don't come near me. Holy shit. You know, those were like the things I was saying. And he was like up on his hind legs. His paws were up. His face was so close to mine. Like, I'm so serious.
You could have made out with it.
We could have kissed.
Imagine.
Do you
I
want
don't recommend that.
make out? No, the answer was no. It was like either get eaten to death or
Do you have your phone out during this time or
not
no?
yet.
Okay.
Not yet. We were way too close. Even when I did start filming, I was way too close. But at that time, the bear, we had a whole minute together between me starting to video and
Okay.
the super duper close part.
Okay.
So I felt more confident it would have happened if it was going to happen, you know? This bear seemed curious, not threatening.
Okay.
And that's why I was like, okay, I'm going to film this just in case things go bad. People will know what happened. You know, God forbid, it would be devastating, but like people can choose if they want to see this or not.
so
But that's
dark.
really what I was thinking. Yeah, I was
Wow.
like, damn, I might die and get mauled and maybe my body won't be found, but at least I could throw
Wow.
my phone to the trail.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a hard thought. That was a hard thought to have. So anyway, I back away.
Mm-hmm.
And then I back off the trail as described in the video, and it follows me. And bears can walk up to 35 miles an hour. or run rather.
Fast.
So, yeah, very fast. So I might have been seeing this bear's tracks like the last couple days because I was
Yeah.
doing 20 miles or something a day,
Okay.
and I was seeing tracks every day. So they just go out and about in their life. And at this point, I started recording because this bear is coming toward me now at quite a pace that walking backwards, I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing. I could trip. Anything could happen right now. So in the very beginning, when I went to turn to run, I had my bear spray right here, and that's what jogged the memory of the video, which was
Love.
great. So I was like, okay, take the bear spray out and then get your phone out. And I was holding it like this so I could have
Wow.
like stability. And also I was looking at the bear, but I wasn't looking it in the eyes because I can like look in my phone.
Oh, God. Do not make eye contact with a bear.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay.
I'm not an expert, but I did have this experience and I survived. Anyway, I'm holding the phone and I'm holding my bear spray.
Yeah.
Backing away. And then, like when dogs and when animals like shimmy shake,
Yeah.
they like get that stress relief.
Yeah.
So eventually it passed me. It did go near me, and then it passed me again. And at this point, when it came near me off the trail, I was like so shook. I really thought it might just keep coming toward me.
Oh, God.
And I was like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like if this bear comes any closer to me, I will fall to the ground and cry and plead for my life. There was no other option. Hi, you're okay. You're okay. Please don't come here. Please don't come here. Please don't come here. You're okay. You're okay. Oh my God. No. You're good. You're okay. 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 Please don't come here. Thank you. Please go. Please go. Please, no. No, please. Please don't come this way. Oh, fucking thank God. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh my God, please don't come here. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. I need to fucking run. Oh my God. In the video, I'm just repeating, we're okay.
I thought you were talking to yourself, trying to calm
I think I
yourself down. You're like,
was.
you're okay. Keep breathing. It's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So then it eventually just
It
passes.
shook off.
Okay.
It shook off. And then I calmed down a little bit more. To me, that's giving me a positive green flag. It never bluff charged me, which is the
Thank God.
thing that they do before they're going to attack you to see if you back away. They'll bluff charge, like come really quickly toward you and then like turn just to be like, get out of my house kind of thing.
Yeah.
I did not use the bear spray. I didn't, even though I was terrifyingly close to this grizzly, I didn't feel it was necessary to use that spray because of many factors. The bear showed no signs of aggression toward me. We were both just existing in the space and curious about each other. For me, it was more of a threat than for him because I am a human being and can easily be killed by this bear. There's a very small chance of me killing this bear.
So bear spray was more of your last line of defense.
Yes.
Okay.
It was like you only get 7 seconds of spray
That's it?
on the bear spray. So you would hold it down near the foot of the bear because it rises. When is the moment that I'm going to use the spray? If I'm going to use the spray, it has to be perfect conditions, so to speak. The wind cannot be blowing toward me. The bear needs to be close enough that it will be impacted by the spray. And it should be charging at me. If it's not charging at me, there's no reason to bother this bear. We just happen to stumble upon each other. That would injure the bear. that would definitely affect the bear.
Mm-hmm.
It's like getting pepper sprayed, but it's for that big of an animal. So it's really
Intense.
very more intense than regular pepper spray.
Damn.
I chose not to spray the bear.
And the bear thanks you.
I think so too. I really do. I think that was the right thing to do.
What an incredibly stressful situation, but it sounds like you really handled yourself well, and I'm really proud of you. And sorry you went through that because I know it was terrifying.
It was terrifying and traumatizing. I appreciate you saying that. And because I already have CPTSD,
Yeah.
I think like in these very, very high stress environments is why I'm able to make it out alive.
So the bear passes. What do you do next?
I just keep hiking.
All right.
I'd say, okay, finally. Phew. Then I hike on.
Didn't you end up cutting your trip short?
I did. That was about a week later because I got swarmed by black flies.
No. Ew.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
I hate flies so much.
Loud, all encompassing. Like imagine, remember
Ew.
Charlie Brown?
Yeah.
Like Charlie Brown and the stinky kid, and he
Yeah.
has like all the flies.
Oh my god.
Imagine that, but like in real life.
Oh.
I wasn't even that
no.
stinky yet.
So that was your final straw.
That was my final.
You said
straw.
I survived a bear,
Mhm.
almost attack.
The fly broke the Amanda's back,
I don't blame you. That's so gross.
but I also got bitten by the flies.
I want to crawl out of my skin.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
that's exactly how I felt. So I got bitten. I had an allergic reaction to the bites. It was absolutely brutal.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It was disgusting. I was having an
That's
allergic
awful.
reaction.
That's awful, awful, awful.
So I went in my tent. I was supposed to meet another hiker, and I didn't because I messaged on my Garmin, my SOS device.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to stop here because I am having an allergic reaction. I just got swarmed by flies. When somebody says that to you, you don't understand the severity.
It sounds severe to me. I would be remiss if I didn't ask.
Yeah.
Bear man.
Bear. Bear, 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 bear. Because what I didn't tell you is that I did encounter a man the day before,
Mm-hmm.
and he did have a lot of weaponry, and I wasn't sure his motivation.
Really?
And I was fawning. Unfortunately, that was my response. You know, fight, flight, freeze, fawn.
yeah.
Look it up if you don't know.
You did
It's
what
when you
had to
kind
do.
of appease the other person.
So you had a threatening aura and was being weird towards you?
I wouldn't say that. I was just uncomfortable by this person who was
Fair.
a man and had a lot of weapons.
Enough said.
Yeah. Didn't have a permit.
Don't like that.
That's inappropriate. We're in the backcountry. And I saw him once. I thought he was a bear. So yeah, we talked for a second. And then later that same day, about 5 miles later, I see him being escorted off the trail by a ranger
For not having a permit?
for not having a permit.
Do your homework.
Yeah, do your homework.
So ironic that this has become such a topical conversation, like bear or man, bear or man. You
Yeah.
were literally faced with both this summer.
I know. I was faced with both. Live to tell the tale. I choose the bear. Highly recommend choosing the bear.
I do have to say real quick, the news outlets really picked this up and you went super viral.
did.
You kind of did a little media circuit for a
I did a
minute. Who did you get
circuit.
interviewed by? Where were you featured on? Tell us.
I was on the Today Show. Daily Mail, you know, like stuff like that.
Who was the first person to,
The Today Show.
wow.
Yeah. And Storyful. But a lot of like media companies were reaching out because they wanted me to license the video with them so they can push it out to companies like Today Show and CBS.
Did you make any money?
I didn't email them yet about my check, but that's because it keeps kind of circuiting. So I'm just going to
You better get that check, girl.
get that money, honey. I do have a 60-40 split. Thank you so much.
That's amazing negotiating.
Thank you. Thank you. They actually offered me that, and I just said a thanks. Yeah. I'll take it. I will say I did call Bianca. Shout out to Bianca. Thank you so much for your help and support with this. She said, yeah, go with Storyful. They're reputable, and it's okay.
And then you took interviews on the trail, right?
I did. So I took an interview from the trail.
Celebrity.
Trail celebrity, baby.
That's
okay,
wild.
No, I'm not that ego.
Two Braids is a fucking legend. Know that.
I was a legend on trail, though, I will say.
No, I think you're a legend forever.
Oh my God, thank you.
The
I'm a
woman who came face to face with a
legend.
bear and survived.
Have you ever come face to face with a bear and survived?
No,
I did.
you did. And no one can take that away from you. How have the trails changed you?
I've accepted myself more. I made up so many little songs in my head and little things that I can like repeat to myself and accept where I'm at,
Mhm.
despite other people lapping me on the trail, essentially. Like
Yeah.
people going like 4 miles an hour and I'm going like 2 or
Yeah.
1, you know?
Their journey doesn't matter. Yours does.
I mean, theirs matters, but not to me. Just kidding.
No, but it's not a competition. It's not about
Exactly.
comparison. It's,
Yeah. And as a competitive person,
yeah,
that was very hard for me to accept.
it's a big pill to swallow.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
That's huge. That's very transformational.
Yeah.
My therapist watches this show. Shout out.
Hello to your
She is
therapist.
going to love this lesson.
I really did accept myself a lot more in every way because unfortunately I felt like the further away from home I was, the more myself I could be
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of preconceived notions, people who've known me for many years and maybe they think I am what they remember of me or like,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of pressure that I'm just putting on myself.
Yeah.
And so when I was out there and I was able to build my confidence over the length of 2 trails in 2 years to trust my judgment, that was the main thing. Not
Mhm.
seek external validation. And that comes with being a solo hiker, you know?
Yeah.
I told this to other people like who asked me if I would have rather been with people during the bear encounter. And to that I say no because I really trust myself and my judgment. I don't know how somebody else would have reacted.
That's so fair.
And that would be out of my control. But something that I can control is how I acted.
That's so powerful.
Yeah, thank you.
Good on you for holding it down, being
you.
your own steadfast foundation and anchor,
Thank you.
and just journeying through this life one day at a time on your conditions.
Yeah, that's exactly how I
beautiful.
feel. I really appreciate it. I feel like you see me,
I do.
you see me. I see you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amanda, before I let you go, I have to ask you one final question of the show. And that is, what is something you'd like to be Fronk about?
Take up space, sister. Take up space. Do whatever the fuck you want, despite anybody else, anything that they say.
Mm-hmm.
Be yourself. True to yourself. Remember that song?
And of course I do.
Oh, my eye just got stuck together.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's so much easier said than done, but you just got to focus on your journey. What do you need to thrive and survive? As a woman on trail,
Mm-hmm.
people, men, were angry just for my existence, you know? Like I had been shushed and shunned and stalked and, all these things, inappropriately kissed and this
Oh
and
my
that.
God.
Like I don't owe anybody my space, time, energy.
No.
Neither do you. Neither do any of you watching.
Yeah, no.
If you want to hike a trail, hike a trail. If you want to do something, do it. Take up the space. You might be the first person just like you doing it. And that could be inspiring to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's if I'm going to be Fronk, that's what I'd be Fronk about.
I love it. I co-sign that. I think that's amazing advice. And you are not only preaching that gospel to us, you're living it every day. And so that I say thank you. Thank you so much for sharing about your life, your journey on the trails, your experiences, your insights, your takeaways, your lessons. Yeah. This has been such a fun conversation. I wish we can continue to talk.
I know.
I'll have you back because
There's so much more to
we've
talk
only
about.
scratched the surface. Amanda
Barely.
is, if you haven't caught on by now, she's a fascinating, compelling person.
This is like
she's lived many lives.
Thank you so much. Yeah, like we talked about like the last like 2 years.
Yeah.
Or even like the last month.
But what a dense time.
So dense. But I really appreciate you having me on.
Of course, I've been dying to have you on. Like I said,
you.
Amanda, if people want to connect with you outside of the show, how can they do that?
You can go to Braids on Trail. Follow me right now. If you're watching or listening, take out your phone, open up the Instagram app, click it. When I sit down in one place for more than a day, I will be pushing out some of the tens of thousands of photos and videos I have on my phone for the past 3 years of travel.
So exciting. How are you going to be compiling that?
I want to make some zines. I'm going to put stuff on social, but I really want a physical, tangible thing because it's just
Love
so
it.
special.
Yeah.
It really is. I love holding things. So I'm going to try and put some of my photography into a zine. I am going to put some things on the Instagram, on TikTok, and Facebook I post on too, Facebook Reels.
Just sharing more about your journeys, your findings.
Yeah, I'm going to
That's
try and edit
amazing.
some videos together.
Love it.
If you're a video editor and want to help, let me know. Like I said before, my email is amandawylie93@gmail.com. And you can also DM me. Like my DMs are open for any reason. No. Just
She's
kidding, but I'm not.
She's not.
Yeah, reach out to me. I like to date.
Amanda is an artist. If you want to keep up with her journeys and the projects, the things she's tackling, creating, making, follow her at all the places she just said. Amanda, thank you so much for your time. This has been so fun. And I want to say to you, the audience, thank you for tuning in to Let Me Be Fronk. Again, I'm your host, Alyssa Fronk, and this is a talk show that comes out every other Wednesday on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. If I expand other places, I'll let you know. But until then, you can follow us on social. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, if that is your type of thing, go check it out. I'm posting stuff up there. Thank you all for the support. I love hearing your feedback, so please keep it coming. Feel free to rate the show. Actually, I'm going to ask that you do please rate the show and give it 5 stars and a glowing
5.
review. Yeah.
5 stars.
Share with your friends who are into hiking and nature, and even if they're not,
Yeah.
share it. This was a great interview.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But you know why? We have a great interviewer.
Stop.
Let me be Fronk. You know?
Stop.
Can we hold hands?
Yes.
I love you.
I love you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for
tuning
having
in,
me.
and I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.